Yikes. Welcome back, my legend. Today we are here with a special guest.
Hey, how are you guys? This is Jibriel Brathwaite. Some of you guys may know me for playing Madolches, and I'm here to have a little discussion. We're having a discussion night today.
All right, thank you for coming in. Like I know most people don't like think of Madolche as a top tier or at least um like a tier two, like two tier or 1.5 ish deck.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on it?
Before I started playing Madolches, there were a couple people that topped with Madolches, including the person that taught me how to play the deck. He was one of the first two people that actually topped post the Edco support with Madolches, me being the third person to top with the deck since the new support had came out. And I saw the deck's potential, so after our duel where he beat me, and I was playing Adam Emancipators, basically with the Go 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 stuff, so still in development. I asked him about the deck, and he basically taught me some of the combos. So while he was teaching me some of the combos, of course, he taught me the Petting Cessor combo, which at the time was the standard combo. He also taught me the Glass Soufflet combo, which he didn't really when he taught me that combo, he basically said, "Well, this is just a weak combo that is able to play around Nibiru." So off of that, I kind of just innovated on the deck more, where I took out all of the going second cards like Dark Rulers and Lightning Storms, and turned the deck into a complete going first deck that relied on the weaker combo backed up with hand traps and regular traps in order to control the tempo of the game and win duels. And I had a great matchup versus the top two decks at the time before Rise of the Duelists, which were Emancipators and Eldritch, which still arguably are the two top decks at this point.
Thank you. Also I'm hosting, so whenever you wish to
Yeah.
join.
hmm
And what are your thoughts of this format? Like most people are complaining since whatever degenerate you see, it all resolves around link cross. So do you think link cross should be banned?
So yes and no. I don't think that cards like I think that they should be banned, but I don't think that they're going to be banned. I think that Konami has to sell product, and it wouldn't be good for them if they banned a card before it got to see an actual competitive event. So do I think that it eventually is going to get banned? Yes, probably, but for the time being, no. I think that Link Cross and cards like Needle Fiber are going to be here for a little while longer.
All right. And Konami,
Yeah.
Konami, yeah, they out here. You are right. Like I do think that selling product first comes before like any serious ban list. Yeah. Oh no, you're fine. Just combo off.
Yeah, yeah. So,
Uh,
so do I think that they care more about selling product than the state of the game? So that is weird. Like we've seen in the past, like emergency ban lists where
mhm.
Konami might throw potential profit that they can make off of a set or an archetype
Pepe.
because Pepe, for instance, like famously getting banned, like getting emergency banned maybe like a week after release. But I don't think that this format is one of those formats. I think that this format isn't the greatest in the sense that like it'll be remembered as a beloved format, but I don't think that is one of those formats that we're going to look back upon and discuss. Like I think that this format is super diverse where we can have Eldritch and Emancipators be the best deck, but then have like decks right below it, like Dragma and
Mhm. Mhm.
Infernoble, and then a bunch of other decks that are like right below that, like Madolche, Sky Strikers, Dinosaurs, different decks that are able to still compete and do well in events.
Glass to fit. Yeah, that's fine. So like, it's much better than last year's format, which I don't know if any of my watchers have seen. The last format you had Goki just being you had to play like any like Goki was like top tier zero in my opinion. With
Yeah.
them being able to like you link, oh my goodness, that which is pretty wild. But now I think it's much. I wouldn't say much better. And why are you in my hand? Yeah. Stand by into main.
Yeah.
But like I think it is much better because instead of like there being just like because I think last format we had Goki, then we had the whole Orcus problem, which was a whole headache of its own.
Yeah,
But now,
basically every deck had to play Orcus cards in order
what?
to be high tier.
Yes, which I like right now. I do see a tad bit of Orcus and Eldritch where you can
Yeah,
splash in and stuff, but it's like at least more calm, if you would say, in a way, where you're not
yeah,
seeing it in every other deck where you need to one like two cards and boom, Orcus. I'm like, where is this coming
yeah. The Elvish cards are way different. The Elvish cards are similar to the Orcus cards, as in they're being splashed in a lot of decks, but they're way more restrictive. And like they lock you into zombies, and they're only really can be used well in control type decks. Like the Orcus could go in anything because any two monsters get you to Mermaid, which get you to basically a crescendo, which is negate and recycling resources. So it's a little different, but I understand what you're saying. Yeah, it is
from?
very similar.
So thoughts on Numeron, and we're gonna try to break this board with this.
Yeah. So on Hoot Cake and Chain Promenade.
Yep,
So
kind of
yeah,
figured.
so the thing if you looked at the LCS that's taking place this weekend, you'll notice that I don't think any Numeron topped. No, zero Numeron decks topped.
Hmm.
And that's something that I kind of talked about a little while ago. I talked about how I didn't think that engine. I thought that engine was like a dying trend in the sense that like the OCG and the TCG are way different, and cards like Numeron Network and Zexal seem a lot better on paper than they are in practicality. Like you literally can't build a deck around Zexal because Zexal, by its own card design, will eventually reach zero attack and not be able to do any damage. So you can't really build a deck around Zexal, and the Numeron cards are so restrictive because they only lock you into one summon after it. So once you touch down with the Zexal, basically any other engine that relies on monsters is turned off. So they're super restrictive, and basically, in my opinion, the best version of Numeron that I believe will continue to see play are with the Guru cards, because the Hidden City allows you to bypass some of the restrictions that
Yeah,
Numeron Network puts
because
on the
it's
field.
because it says you can it
You
says
can,
you can set monsters, just not in summon.
yeah. So you can set it with the Hidden City, then flip the Guru and grab a Fiendus in order to protect the Zexal from cards like Impermanence and Gamma.
that I mean, like I think the problem with Numeron is that I think everyone is siding or meaning Nibiru, Ghost Ogre. I'm like, but like I
Yeah.
feel like they kind of painted a target on their back, and everyone's trying to stop them. But at the same
hmm
time, we have other decks coming in with like Infernoble Knights, which
Yeah.
I feel like the Rip One card is a a great tech because I played them like casually, and I didn't like realize, oh
hmm
my goodness, smoking, what is this?
Yeah.
So I was like, oh my, like right
Yeah.
now, like the format is really diverse. I feel like anything can top. It just matters on if your deck has can out whatever matchups it's facing against.
Yeah. So I agree but disagree. So with Eternity Code, I felt like it supported a lot of archetypes and decks and themes inside of Eternity Code, and that really opened up the format.
Hmm.
But post Return of the Duelist, and I've mentioned it to a lot of people, um, I think it kind of closes the format again. So the Infernoble deck, which if anybody watches me on DB when I play, that's kind of the deck that I've been tinkering around with now. In addition to Madolche, I really have been enjoying the Infernoble deck. That and the Dragma deck kind of restrict the format. What I mean is those decks kind of where the Elvish and the Adamantipator decks do very different things, and it allows all of the rogue decks in order to like dedicate their main inside in order to specifically countering those two decks. The um warrior deck and the Dragma deck do two completely different things, and they're both high tier. So the worst time to play a rogue deck is when there are a multitude of quote unquote top tier decks. Because when playing a rogue deck is what I like to say when it comes to playing a rogue deck, you have to know the format. Your deck is based around the format. Your deck changes with the format. Your the format doesn't change for your deck. What does that mean? That means that depending on what the best decks are, you build your deck accordingly. The format will never come to a place where everyone is building for you. And Madolche's is one of that deck. Madolche's, in my opinion, is a counter pick to the meta, and it was very great. Last format before Rise of Duelists. As far so far, I would say that it was probably the top within the top 5 decks in the game. And if you looked on YGO Scope at the deck's win rate with Adamantipator's at about 63% win rate. So that means that the Madolche players on ranked were winning 63% of the time. So that was very good for showings for the deck. But with Rise of the Duelist, it's going to be much harder in order to top with the deck.
Let me see what's that. Let's. No. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Let's see. Can I? I don't think I can out. I think I can, but the problem being is fruitcake.
Yeah.
Man, another
Yeah,
thing.
this mirror match is bad. I hate this mirror match.
I was like, okay, what is he going to play? An actual deck? But I think target one of the messenger gelatos.
Yeah, that's fine.
So what would you consider like are the top tier decks of this format right now?
So post Rise of the Duelist, I would argue that the best deck is tied between Infernobles and Adamanticators. Um, Out the gate, a lot of people had doubts in the performance of the Infernoble deck, and how fragile of a combo deck it is compared to like the Rock deck, which like Block Dragon go burr. Like resolving Block Dragon is insane value. It's basically like a
Oh
plus.
my.
It's potentially a +7 resolving a Block Dragon because you can add in um um what do you call it, in a vacuum you can add the 3 tuners, and if they all hit then they all pay for themselves and one, and then the Block Dragon revives itself, so that's 3 times 2, that's 6, and then the Block Dragon comes back, so it's like a +7 in vacuum. It's an incredible deck, but the edge that the warrior deck has on the Adamantipator deck is what you said earlier, the hand knowledge and the hand rip. It allows the deck in order to play around cards like Dark Ruler No More and Forbidden Dropless, where Adamanticators basically have to draw a point of the Red Lotus, and if they don't draw a point of the Red Lotus, then they can't play around those cards.
Mm,
Um,
and this is a
yeah,
whole ass problem.
yeah. So I would say those are tied for first place. And second place, I would probably say that the second best deck of the format has got to be Dragma. Not Dragma Invoked. It is Dragma Eldritch. Dragma Eldritch Synchro/Synchro Eldritch is probably the second best deck of the format. But some argument could be made that's the best deck of the format.
Mm.
So you have the Eldritch believers out there that believe that Eldritch is the best deck, and then you have the Rock believers that believe that Rock is the best deck, and then you have a small group of people that text me every day talking about how Madolche is the best deck.
Hey,
So
hold on, hold on. We're talking about yo. Throughout these many formats, I'm like, we've always had like the best matchups against like graveyard decks. I'm like, hey,
yeah, but that's the thing. The two new decks don't care about their graveyard.
sure, like
So
I saw this post
it's
like in the group chat, like, "Hey, what do I spin back from like the graveyard?" I'm like, "Nothing," because
doesn't matter.
like
Yeah,
they have a foolish, they'll just get it, and like it really does not matter. Honestly,
yeah,
like you just gotta suck. And plus, by the time like you foolish, like you try to foolish, they might have
yep.
what's Phoenix guy, Phoenix Gear Free.
Gear
I'm
free.
like, yeah, and
Yeah.
then like your teacher's just gonna be like negated. I'm like, oh,
Yeah, that deck is definitely might be the best deck. Like I've been playing that deck a lot. I went from I always stay over 1,000 rated. Like I probably got to 1,000 rated with Madolche, like
Hmm.
from the beginning of the season to about where Rise was 2 weeks away. I took a break from rated for like 2 weeks. I was at 1,000 rating, and then since last night, I went from 1,100 rating to where I am right now. I'm at 1,428. I'm number like 23 on all of Dueling Book within like 20 hours of just Infernobles. On YGO I have like an 85% win ratio with the deck.
One
Just
Noble
like
Knight.
insane Noble. Yep, with the Noble Knight deck. Like the
Noble
deck
Knight,
is very good. That deck is so incredible.
and it's hell. I think is it still cheap?
So the new stuff that came out is are pretty cheap. Except for the equip spell, they're going for like $8. After this weekend, they're definitely going to go up in price. Um, to probably like maybe 10, and then Renaults are like $30 a piece, and you have to play three. And Gear Frees are like
uh,
25s, and you got to play at least one to two Gear Freed. And Smoke Grenade is a $10 common.
I think I
So
found that. I think I found one like just looking around because I'm like, yo. But
yeah,
like, oh my goodness. Oh, thoughts on droplets? Like, which one do you think? Oh, do you not have a monster? Oh, that's wild.
no,
Fuck. I think okay. That's fine. That's fine.
yeah. So
Um,
those
droplets.
decks, yeah, droplets or talents.
Yeah, or triple T's.
Yeah, that question, I get that question a lot. It really depends on the deck. Like, depending on what deck you're on, the answer might be different because it depends on what your deck needs. Like some decks have a problem dealing with monster negates, and they
Mm-hmm.
play a lot of spells and traps that stick on the field. I would say play droplets because droplets could send all your spells and traps in a deck like strikers. You can activate your spells and then chain droplets to send all your spells that you're activating to the grave to negate a bunch of cards. Like it's free.
It's
And
wild.
but like in decks like Madolche's that have a problem with getting interrupted, I would say play a card like three tactical talents because you can either draw two cards, or if you have the extender, you can look at your opponent's hand and take away the card that would stop you from winning.
Peekaboo.
Yeah. So it all varies. But yeah, they're both great cards. I mean, you see by their price tags that obviously people are very excited for those cards and they have a lot of hype price. But it's well deserved.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But yeah, so
Uh, thoughts on Dragoon? Yeah, because Dragoon is coming out next Saturday. Ah,
yeah, Dragoon, that card is definitely gonna warp the format. Like I don't think anything I think Dragoon might be the card that might put the nail in the coffin because this is a Madolche discussion for the most part. I think that's the card that might put the nail in the coffin for this deck for the time being. A lot of people have
mm,
asked me why have I been playing Infernobles and not Madolches. I said I'll pick the deck up when they confirm crossout designator. That's my answer.
crossout designator is pretty good. Like, cause I
Yeah,
was
this deck
like,
needs crossout designator.
oh my goodness, vanish any card out of our deck. Hey, I'll vanish.
Yeah,
At that point, you don't even need to play the Dragoons. You could just like play the Red Eyes Fusion. It's just like yoink.
yeah, exactly. It's so good. That card is so good, and it fixes so many problems that the deck has.
Now
So yeah,
this,
I think that card is a definite play. You definitely have to play that card.
hey, you drew one as well.
Yeah. All right.
Um,
So yeah.
so if you could, because like
hmm
since we are in the middle of creating a card, who did you vote for, and
Um,
what card would you give for that deck?
I was sad that Madolche wasn't. I honestly was sad. I was telling a friend when it was live, we were watching it together. I was like, please let Madolche be one of these
Ooh,
picks because I literally think that that deck would be able to win. I think
mm,
that that deck has a huge fan base and like people in general, like besides the memes, like really love Madolche as an archetype. Would be fond for more support. But from the decks that they revealed, I would probably say that I would want either Sylvans or Insectors to win.
Mm. I'm a. Oh, what card would you make for them? Like what?
I'm scooping, by the way. I
Uh,
don't. I hate the mirror so much.
I
Yeah.
mean,
So um, what would I make? So for Sylvans, Sylvans have a couple of problems. Like they're kind of slow.
hmm
For the main thing, they're kind of slow. But the card that really like sealed the deal for Sylvans being competitive was the limiting and eventual ban of Soul Charge. So I think in order to make Madolche a top tier deck again, they would have to probably give them their own Soul Charge, like
for
a
Mad-
spell that is like a Soul Charge. That would
for
probably like help the deck a lot.
for Madolche or for Sylvans?
Sylvans.
All right, I was like, okay.
Yeah, Sylvans. They would
Uh,
need a soul charge. Don't get me wrong, a soul charge from Madolche would be pretty nice too.
oh, broken.
But like, yeah,
Honestly,
and
I would deal with like if we were like getting a Madolche card, it'd be a Link one, and then Link one or extra that card because I'm
yeah,
tired of seeing these like because I think like I don't like for some reason pitting cess reduces RFI level fours to level threes. I'm like, all right, come
yeah,
on, you got to give us like a beast one,
yeah. We need
some
a
more
rank 3
cards.
badly.
Because I'm like the Link two is cool and all. It says, hey, yeah, you're fine. It says,
Yeah,
hey, you can't target like your spells and traps, and most people don't read that, and they'll just swing into her. I'm like,
yeah. But yeah, we definitely need a rank 3 because we have a lot of level 3s in the deck. And I would say that since we got Petting Sister, which has the restriction that if you have no monsters in the grave, special summon it. I also suggested that what if we got a monster that a beast monster that said if we have no spells and traps in the grave, special summon itself from the hand. That would also be very good.
mm,
I think that those two cards would go together. We would get rank 3 Xyz with a level 3 beast monster that special summons itself from the hand.
oh my goodness, you're actually playing. I thought you were joking. Oh
Nah,
no,
you
oh
guys
shit.
gotta learn. You guys gotta learn.
Yo, this man
Yeah,
revealed
this is the
this.
spice, guys. This is.
Oh my
You guys are
goodness.
gonna see a little bit of it now, but you guys thought I was joking. This is actually a deck,
Oh,
and
he
you would
revealed
think
it
that it wouldn't
further.
work, but it definitely works.
Uh,
And I think that this definitely, because I'm good friends with Ryan. I feel like this definitely needs more exploration. End phase petting system. Glass of flood.
and then you're gonna use
Yeah,
Ash Dragon.
cert. So I'm gonna set the prom,
hmm
and I'm going to grab Fleur de Lis.
Wow, look at this man popping off. Must be nice when we're like. Honestly, I think like Madolche needs like a draw card because I think we all
Yeah,
feel
we
message
already
all
have a draw card.
in
Pot
what
of
stop.
extravagance.
You keep on promoting that.
We already have a draw
Oh my
card.
goodness, yo,
You
some
see, a pot of extravagance. It didn't matter. I still had the glass. I didn't banish all
some.
3 glass, and I didn't banish the Ash Dragon. And best believe I still have an Atis in my extra deck.
So
It
what
didn't
about
matter.
what about Queen? Like, did you finish all of them? It sounded like you
No,
did.
I still got 3 queens.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, we might have to. All right, let's see if I can crack this board. So I know that's the promenade. Target that.
Thinking. I'll chain. See, the problem is if you have a lightning storm.
Big ring.
I guess I'll say to that. Chain on Hoot Cake. You better have it. Yeah,
Hey. Oh wait, I didn't pay the 1K, but
yeah,
hey.
that's fine. And then Salon will trigger.
hmm
So, what were we saying? Yeah, so this deck definitely has a lot to be explored. The idea on paper sounds a little silly, but in reality, you're putting a secondary engine in Madolche's that you can, in this version, you would put Pet Incessor down to 1, and you would mainly try to combo with your other cards and get to a point where you could set up off of basically opening up um Angeli plus Nadir or Angeli plus Ecclesta basically gets you to the full end board with Petting Cessor and Punishment. With and if you opened up the Nadir, then you would end with this. You would end with the Ecclesta. I mean the Fleur de Lis. So
Uh,
by playing
yeah, we can
only
go
a
there
couple
again.
extra cards in your deck, yeah. So by playing only a couple extra cards in your deck, instead of ending on one negate in the shuffle, you end on a shuffle, a pop, and and two negates, a monster negate and an omni negate. So it just raises the deck ceiling by a lot. And sometimes you don't even care about the punishment restriction of locking you out of the extra deck next turn because basically you're getting to Tierra Masu your opponent on their turn by popping two cards, and then you have cards like Chateau to boost all of your monsters to pretty high heights, and cards like Fleur de Lis, which are naturally just big monsters, and you can beat your opponent like that. So yeah, the two decks have lots of synergy and is a lot to be explored with these two archetypes.
Mhm. So like going back to create the card, I voted for it,
Yeah.
or I'm voting for it, the weather painters because I feel like
Oh yeah. I'm a fan of that archetype. I actually bought that archetype when it first came out.
hey,
I'm a
he knows
fan.
what's up. Like it was either that or Grados, and I won't lie, the
Yeah.
best thing that came from all this is the memes. One
Yeah.
time, Grados kind of trying to convince people, hey, think about using like something that's like kaiju's and like oh it was really funny. But what I think is yeah, I believe yeah like what other YouTubers are saying these card like these decks need more than one card to make them at least good. And that's what
Yeah. I think that I don't know if Konami is serious about only giving these decks one cards. I feel like we're gonna get like a OCG treatment where these decks are gonna get an art a structure deck. Or at least
but
I hope so that we're gonna get like a structure deck
that
for whatever wins.
I'm gonna fight if that's the case because we're like hold on we were in 10th well, I think like 5th place for the original one so I'm like where's ours.
Yeah. Because what I think is going to happen with all of this is because they're saying that they're stages. I think that we're going to maybe pick the cover card for the structure deck. We're
Mm.
going to build the like card that is revolved around in the structure deck, like the main new card for the structure deck, like the new boss monster, retrain or whatever. I think that that's probably what's going to happen.
I hope because honestly I think like all these decks do need support unlike like Flights ones, I really don't believe that they really need
Yeah, they
support.
don't need support. I don't think anything would change about the deck. I think that they would still be bad. I feel like they've gotten like the best cards that type of deck could ever want.
Yeah,
Like
so,
Charge of the Light Brigade, whatever
um,
the other card is called, the other spell,
hmm
like
and
Solar
then
Recharge, like, and they're still bad.
and plus didn't and they're getting more support from the like chaos monsters with you being
Yeah,
able to tech those in. I'm like, I don't think you guys need to be on here, but
yeah.
like I think
But they
that
have such a large fan base that the
true.
fans are gonna make them get another card.
And then Toad, what are your thoughts on that? Do you think
Uh,
that Toad, yeah,
that
Toad,
Toad could win.
yeah,
I don't think Toad could. I think Toad could win if it wasn't on the same side as Mermail. I think that Mermail is
uh,
gonna win that side because Mermail has a big following. People love water, so the water deck. So I think that water is gonna win. It's gonna be water versus Mermail in the finals probably, or I said water versus Mermail. I mean Mermail versus Lightsworn, or I can see an upset and it being Mermail versus Insector or Sylvan.
yeah, I can see that because a lot of people like oh wait, end of main phase one.
Yeah, that's fine.
Then
hmm Yeah, those two archetypes have huge fan base, so I can see either of them winning the the support card.
honestly, all I'm hoping for is like their decks get you can they're being more playable outside of their own archetype. But
Yeah, definitely.
Only time will tell. But because I think Konami is trying to reach out more since everyone's been at home. Oh, you're good
Yeah,
with like Corona and stuff. Oh, I'm sorry, COVID and stuff.
COVID-19. Yeah.
Can't say that. But like, oh no, that's fine. Oh, how did you find out about the Cyber Dragon Nova effects?
Um, I think that was kind of known. That was like one of the other texts that people have been talking about in the competitive scene. Like other pro players have been talking about that in addition to like playing Natis and playing like App Clone and your extra deck in order to like counter their cards. But yeah, it's just a niche thing. Like it doesn't solve the problem, and that's why I think that this version of Madolche is actually the best version because now instead of having to send like cards like Cyber Dragon Nova just to get hit by the Mechaba, if say you were playing Dragma and you Maximus me thinking that you're playing against Madolches, and I send my own Natis and my own Ash Dragon.
Hmm.
So now I get to bait your Mechaba, and now I'm summoning an Ecclesia in my end phase and searching my Fleur. So like, I get pluses off of you playing your Dragma deck. So I think so. Like right now, like I just summoned the Fleur de Lis. I'm locked out of my extra deck, but it's fine. Now I mean, I summoned the Ecclesia. I'm locked out of my extra deck, but it's fine. Now I have a Fleur. In order to, whenever you decide to activate the Glass Soufflet, I could just chain the Fleur to negate one of your cards, or I could just save it into your next turn to stop the hoot cake.
Wow,
And now I have no monsters in my grave, so I could just do this. It's fine. I don't need to go into my extra deck because I can still grab Promenade. It doesn't matter as long as I get Promenade.
you're good.
So
Because I
yeah,
know a lot of people were conflicted and didn't understand like your reasoning behind it. They're like,
I,
wait, don't
I mean,
you
yeah.
like?
Hopefully they'll all see this footage.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I'm gonna make sure I post in the
yeah,
Facebook.
definitely. Because like this deck is very good. Like people were laughing at it. The picture got cropped. That's why you couldn't see the extra deck
I was
because
like,
the picture got cropped.
yo, are we playing the Revoked Engine and just some other cards? I'm like, hey,
Yeah, it got cropped. But yeah, this deck is definitely nice. Hoot cake effect.
hmm,
Effect the messenger lotto.
that's fine.
Okay. Yeah. So, but yeah, this deck is very. I think it's competent. This was summoned off of Angeli, right?
No, the puddings.
Pudding says.
Hmm. Yeah, it was.
Okay. Okay, that's cool. Thinking. Oh, forced. Nadir servant.
Hmm, that's fine.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. Fuck, I didn't realize. I'm dumb. I thought you like you just target sponsors. My bad. Whoop.
Oh.
Well,
Whoopty. Entis targeting. We'll target your. I'll target your glass of flat.
uh, chain.
Yeah. Okay. You protecting itself
Yeah, I'm gonna protect itself.
using a shuffle effect.
Nah, not yet.
But you see how many cards I have in my hand, right?
Yeah,
This
like
is like
he's
insane advantage. And then I'm just gonna go do this and force your promenade.
uh,
I'm gonna use this effect to look at your hand.
yep.
That's fine.
So look at my hand.
Yeah, I look at your hand and shuffle a card from it to the deck.
Go ahead.
I'll take the mind control. Then I'll activate this.
Hmm.
Set 1.
Yep.
Set 2. Pass.
During your end phase,
Mm-hmm.
promenade target. Chateau,
Yeah.
targeting souffle,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fine.
and then chilling one, salon, chilling two, glass souffle.
Yeah. What are you shuffling back?
Fucking I'm gonna just shuffle back my one promenade.
Yeah, I got you. But yeah, what do you want to talk about next? Future product? What do you call it? Phantom Rage. That's the next
Oh yeah,
set.
yeah, yeah. I'm like thoughts on the like big standby into main, and then
Yeah.
thoughts on the
So
big Xyz monster.
Zeus card, right?
Hmm.
Zeus, the Gundam, the actual Gundam. Yeah, that card's insane for this deck. So people didn't really understand. First of all, there was like a mistranslation on the card. People thought that it didn't transfer the Xyz material, but it actually does. It transfers all the Xyz materials from the card that had battled. And the thing that's so powerful about it is basically it puts pressure on your opponent, where you can battle, you can go into your battle and do whatever, and then go at main phase 2, shuffle some cards with Tiramisu, and then go into the Zeus card, and that puts infinite pressure on your opponent on their turn. Like, it really puts them on the spot to have to make a play, and if they don't make the play, then they're gonna lose. So
All right.
it's a very good card for the deck. And there's a couple other jewels in that set that I'm pretty sure that this deck will end up playing.
Oh, what jewels?
It's a trap card. I forgot what it's called, but it basically is like no material but a trap card. It's like when your opponent normal summons or special summons a monster, target it, negate its effects, and it can't be used for synchro Xyz or fusion or link material for the rest of the turn. But it's a
Okay.
trap card. So this deck will definitely play cards like that because this deck is a more control esque deck and thinking.
Hmm. So first
Mhm.
one was extra normal, and then second was regular normal.
Yeah, and this is promenade, right?
Yeah, that's promenade.
Okay. I'll activate punishment. That's fine.
Uh, target
Um, Pen accessor.
chain.
Chain.
Whew.
And I'll bounce back my hoop kick.
All right. So this is negated.
Yep. And then I'll send Intus and I'll pop that because that was targeted. And then Entis's effect will trigger in order to pop your messenger lotto.
And then
They both
so
get shuffled. And then you trigger Salon.
mm-hmm. Whew. Let's see if we can win, boys. It's not looking so great.
Yeah. So the next set has a lot of good cards that this deck can use, along with the other decks. And in the next set, we're supposed to be getting like 16 TCG exclusives. They said. So I
Hey.
think what's gonna end up happening is they're gonna finish all of the TCG exclusive archetypes that like we felt didn't get finished. So I wouldn't be surprised if those TCG exclusives were brand new Plunder Patrol cards and Dream Mirror cards to finish those respective themes.
Fuck out of here. I want that Tindangles. Tindangles. Give me more.
It
That
might
card.
be. I don't know, man.
Honestly, Tindangles needs that support. Like, I'm,
Yeah.
Link.
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
fine.
Who kick? Target glass.
hmm Do I know any card? I do know your hand. I saw it. All right.
Mm-hmm.
What was it? It was
Uh,
Lightning Storm something.
and pudding sus.
And Pudding says, okay, yeah. Messenger Auto's fine.
Um. Hmm.
Yeah. So everything's gaining 1,000.
Mm-hmm. A thick voice. Big
Yeah,
boys rise
this
up.
is where this mirror match becomes degenerate because it's like no one can really get an advantage at this point because we're just all of our monsters are the same, so they're just gonna be crashing with each other, and yeah, it's not nice.
And you have a who kick in hand.
Yep.
All right, gelato.
Yeah, that's fine.
Hold on. Do you have the Madolche monsters?
Huh?
Oh no, that's why. So I'm wondering if I make queen, do you
Yeah.
get like so? If I make queen, you surf at target your own feeding. Does she go to the hand?
Yes.
That's wild.
If a monster is in your graveyard, it will be returned to the deck with the effect of a Madolche monster added to your hand. Yep. So that's why this mirror match is so bad because there's no way to really get an advantage. Like even you like doing something like that, you're just giving me pluses.
I know, like because they're gonna go back to your hand. So I'm like, well,
Yeah.
we're just gonna hope. Target Thieves.
My both my Madolches or my Dragma cards.
Drag my card.
All right, that's fine.
Switch this to attack.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's a huge boy, so we're just gonna.
Okay. So I take 600. Take 100.
And then
20.
yep, 24. And then set one. You go.
Yep. Draw for turn. Stand by main phase.
Mm-hmm.
See, the only problem is that you're playing too prominent,
Hey,
which only comes up in the mirror that matters.
I mean, no, because I play it like because just in case you do banish the first one to use the effect, which
Yeah,
I play the second one as an interaction, so I don't play knights because I don't see
yeah, I feel
no
you.
knights. I think it was situational where like yeah you can ending summon the pudding cess on their turn, but at the same
Okay,
time, and you have two monsters, yeah.
that's fine.
Uh, target. Oh my goodness.
Target Intus.
Yeah, target your who cake and then target
Oh,
my who
yeah,
cake.
yeah. Okay, so you're negating. That's fine.
Chinook 1,
Yeah.
Chinook 2.
Yep.
And then,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. I'll special summon Ecclesia. Defense.
mm-hmm.
Effect.
Yep.
Add flare. Alright, so this dude's at 2,000 pudding cess, but if I attack into it, I'll get its effect.
Yeah. Hold on, pudding sis is at. Wait,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, she's at 28.
28,
You have no
yeah.
monsters here. Yeah. Alright,
What is your wildest moment with Madolche?
um probably in the top 8 of the PPG when I played against dinosaurs, and I had him under Mystic Mind for maybe like 20 turns, and we had like a bunch of viewers. Like it might have been maybe like 80 something viewers, and I basically he got rid of the mine, and I had him at like 150 life points,
Mm-hmm.
and if I had Chateau in my hand, I could have boosted. I played through his Doka and his Ultimate Conductor, and if I would have searched Chateau earlier in the turn, which I had an option to, I could have boosted one of my Messenger Lotto over one of his monsters and attacked for game. But I didn't add the Chateau, I don't know why. I think I added like something else and I lost. So it
Wow.
was wild. I lost
So
by 150 life points.
Jesus, you hate to see it. So thoughts on the Phantom Read coming? The Phantom Knights and Raid Raptor fusion that is happening for some reason.
Um, I think those cards are cool. I have to reread them, but I think they just like make a lot of rank fours, and I think that's great. I think that that's awesome that we're getting new support for archetypes and themes that don't just revolve around just slap a link monster on that theme. You know,
Big
you
Rock, no, Big Rock.
exactly exactly just slap a link monster and
So
just see
what?
how it goes.
So what do you think is the best version of Adamantier and Eldritch right now?
So the Dragma, I mean, Adamantipator is it only has one version really,
Hold
and
on,
it's just Rock Turbo basically.
don't diss fossils. Fossils are up there.
Yeah, and then we have the what do you call it? The other deck, the Elders deck, which definitely the Dragma version is the best version of the Elders deck. Are you going to your battle phase?
No, I'm like so normal summon the X, so regular normal summon.
Yeah.
Effective hook target the pitting engrave.
Um, negate that.
That's fine. All right. Teacher effect target hitting and hook I guess.
Chain punishment.
Target.
Targeting. I'll target the pudding sauce.
Chain.
Yeah, that's the game.
Mm-hmm. I won't lie. Like his build actually, because you made me think, and I'm like, all right, because floor and punishment is a good combo. Because I'm like, oh shit, he still has a floor in hand, which you
Yeah.
can. But the another, like,
I mean, this is still just like a beginning build. The deck
mhm.
still has a lot of innovation that definitely you just saw on this that like the engines don't really conflict. Like, and I've been telling people that all the time. Like they're like, you need your extra deck in order to win. When the case is no, you really don't. Like obviously I lost, so that's not like great. But like I don't know. I didn't. He went first. It's kind of like a die roll matchup, and of course he did great. And but like it happens sometimes. But like that doesn't disprove that the deck functions. Like I wasn't like unable to play it because the two decks have no synergy. The decks have a lot of synergy, actually.
Because I won't lie. When your first turn going first, I mean second,
Yeah.
you made like a huge board and you gained a lot of advantage. So I'm like,
Yeah,
Fredman
because like
made.
even if you don't open a starter now, because you're playing the Dragma cards, you can go. If you open up Nadir Hoot Cake, you could go Nadir, send any extra deck monster really in order to add a card, and then that turns on your Hoot Cake, and then you could combo from there.
Well, thank you for having you. I know it's pretty late. I'm sorry for like calling you
Oh
so
no, that's
late.
great. That's great.
Anything
Enjoy.
else? Anything else you wanna like say to the viewers?
Not much. Shout out to all the Madolche players. Everybody's out here. Even though we argue a lot, we're all just trying to make Madolches the best that they can be, and they will be great again. You know,
All
we,
right.
uh, we need cross out designator, but when it comes, I'm gonna have a new build.
Like I've been working on a build. I don't know if you want to see it, but like it's pretty wild. It
Yeah.
so the build so you it has a lot of what's the word? It revolves around like needle fiber and like I'll show you. But like well guys, this has been I don't know how to say your name, so please
Jibril.
Jibrel, thank you.
Yeah.
Here to with Legacy Affair. Please like and subscribe and anything you want to link or
Yeah. Just like and subscribe, guys. We're out here, Ferret Duelists. We're trying to do our thing. We're trying to make the deck great. We're having great discussion and these hard times with COVID-19. We're out here playing Yu-Gi-Oh, having a great time.
All right, thank you. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Peace.